Whenever I see, before we go to the silver lining, actually we're going to silver lining right now. Every time I see Gabe Jackson, I always it wasn't he that wasn't didn't he get re up before Mac and Carr
Yes, he did.
and people who are really well, okay. Yeah. Reggie Reggie did a good job drafting him though.
That was Reggie's
That's Reggie's
worst
baby.
decision.
Yeah, yeah, he loves that. He loves his picks, as you said. Remember, I love my picks. Silver lining now, we go from the NFL to the Raiders here. Article by Tidwin, pretty good article about breaking down the film and the work of Henry Ruggs in year one. And I would say my analysis of Henry Ruggs was I'm definitely excited about I'm definitely excited about it. I was more excited about it. I'm just going back from draft day, that draft weekend. I was even more excited about it when they picked up Brian Edwards. So this is like more of like, hey, like both of these guys together, gonna be, one's gonna be, just a speedster. Other one's gonna be a guy who is kind of give you those tough catches, tough physical catches, like you saw at the end of the Denver game. Um, COVID restrictions, all that stuff like that didn't work out. It didn't work out as we thought in year one. I think there were a couple of things that kind of go out to go that I see too is like you know the hand fighting wasn't able to get off line of scrimmage sometimes. Didn't develop that kind of cohesion with Derek as far as that goes. I also feel like we didn't the offensive coordination didn't do him any favors at times. I think sometimes you got to put a guy like that in the slot. Maybe it's a little bit harder for that corner to get to him, put him on the move, do some different things with him. I love the little that's the when Bill Musgrave used to do those tunnel screens to Cooper and Crabtree. I used to love those. And he's an athlete. He's not like a guy who I don't think he's a dead red zone threat because I feel like he is also an athlete. He can jump out of the building. He can fight for a ball. I've seen him do it. So I mean, it was a loss, kind of not a total lost season for him, but I think we're gonna see. I think we have a chance to see some bigger things from him. What are your thoughts about that article? Maybe if you had a chance to look at it, and also just year one from your own eyes with Henry Ruggs.
Yeah, I agree with basically everything in the article. Watching every snap from last season, that he was used a lot as a decoy, and he ran a lot of alert routes, as Ted mentioned, where he's not really part of the progression. His job is based on pre-snap alignment, where are the safeties, what is the coverage. That it's an alert, the quarterback can go there, but he has to make that decision before the snap. And if he doesn't, based on the coverage, he's really not a part of the progression. He's a clear out. He's a decoy. So he's taking the corner of the safety and running him out so you can run some underneath stuff for Waller or other wide receivers. He did struggle with press coverage. And the good news is, by all reports, he's put on 12, 13
Yeah.
pounds of upper body strength
Yep.
to help him fight through some of that. You saw a little bit in the Dolphins games, which was brought up in that article, where when he's running, stride for stride, corners are putting their hands on him and kind of holding him. They're away with it a lot during the season. And he's going to have to run through some of those and use that speed to create separation. And it's just going to come down to that. He's going to have to learn how to get off press, because if they try to press him and he can get away from him, they're not catching him. So that's kind of the next progression, is to have the play strength to run through that. And if you watched him at all at Alabama, he wasn't a home run threat on go routes and deep routes. It was a lot of slants and underneath stuff, and the Raiders didn't use him on that at all last year. I think I saw Josh DeBoe tweeted they ran 2 slants with him all season. The Raiders threw 2 slants to Henry Ruggs, and that was his go-to route there at Alabama. But I think he's going to have a good year. I don't think it's going to be 80 catches, 1,200 yards, and 10 touchdowns. I think we're going to see somewhere, 60 to 70 catches, 1,000 yards, 1,100 yards, and then maybe mix in 6 or 7 touchdowns on some deep routes. But he does pull coverage. He does open up a lot of stuff underneath for Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow. So I think he's still going to do that. But you're going to see him a lot more involved. And I'll just go back to the Carolina game. They got him involved in the first half of the first game, and then he hurt his knee. And then after that, he kind of tried to limp through the Saints game, and then he got COVID. There are a lot of issues that came up that hopefully this year aren't. He's still really young. I think he's 21 years old still.
He's right. Yeah, he's a baby. He's a baby. Yeah. He's a baby.
So, did he have the season those other guys did, Lamb and Jefferson? No, but I think in this offense, what they needed him to do, I expect a nice jump this year. I don't think he's going to be a Pro Bowler this year or anything like that. We're going to see a nice progression from Henry Ruggs, and they're going to get him involved. And like you said, those tunnel screens, get the ball in his hand. Make guys miss. And if they take a wrong angle, it's a touchdown.
Exactly.
So they have to use him more than just on deep routes.
Yeah, and this the whole slants. I mean, I went back to YouTube is filled with highlight reels of every player, and when you look at some of the highlight reels from him, I like the slant was a big part of his game. Was a huge part of his game, and him getting he's not like he's a player who is unwilling to put in the work. So I mean, and he's a tremendous athlete. I think one other thing that kind of drove me crazy a little bit was for number 11 was like, hey, let's get 2 feet down now, cousin. Let's understand that let's understand that it's 2 foot, it's 2 feet down. In college, those guys are getting, I'm not gonna say they're getting paid, without proof. But those kids are good enough where they're good enough athletes where they can get 2 feet down. So it's time to change that rule too. So that when they come in the league, it's not like what everybody. I do feel like you get him on the move. I think the slant helps him because he's on the move already, and he's already a step for him is you better be good at ankle tackle or whatever, because if you don't get him, like, forget about it. He's gone. He's gone. And that's kind of the Raiders did have a lot of big plays. I think he could easily replace the 3 catches a game. I know it's a big 3 catches because Nelson Aguilar, but his Nelson Aguilar's year was 3 catches a year. So as far as that goes, I know John Brown gives him a little insurance if in case it doesn't happen, but I do like. I do like the receiver room a little bit more, and we can break those rooms down later on as the offseason goes on. But I really do like the receiver room as far as this goes. I think they're kind of the worry spots, and I think that I have maybe the O line a little bit, but I do like what I see from there's a lot of diversity in that receiver room. With the Raiders. Let's see here for the Raiders. Oh, can we
the other thing I hope they don't do a lot with him this next year is all the jet motions, because that basically takes him out of the route tree.
Yes, that's true as well. Listen, Devontae Adams, stop. Can we stop now? Can we stop, please?
I got a little bad internet connection here, I think.
Oh, sorry. Can we stop with can you hear me now? You good?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. My internet kind of froze there for a second.
Yeah. Can we stop with Devontae Adams? Are we already on next offseason already? Like, we're already on next offseason already. Like, so now we're doing the Fresno State Raiders, right? I mean, let's stop. Let's stop, please. Let's stop. I mean, like, is he even a free agent next year?
Let's throw a curveball.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think so, but they franchise him. What about? I know everyone's talking about Adams coming to the Raiders. What if it's Carr going to the Packers to play with Adams and Aaron Rodgers coming west in a trade? Like, no one's talking about that angle of it.
Yeah.
So more likely that Derek Carr and Adams are Packers, or Derek Carr and Adams are Raiders?
I just don't feel like
that's a fair question.
I mean, if that's a fair question. I mean, listen, I am all. If you're going to move on from Derek, like, it has to be one of those guys. I don't want a guy who's on his level as a quarterback. If you're going to do it for, Watson has his own issues. If Watson didn't have those issues, then yes, go right ahead. And if it's for Rodgers, I'm jumping in the pool, no question about it. I'll take he probably has like 3 years left. He's not afraid of Mahomes or being in a division with the Patrick Mahomes. He can make a lot of magical plays. Can't really. Him and Waller would be stupid because Derek and Waller is a good combination. But those two, especially in the red zone, I think he would definitely find a whole lot of plays for Foster Moreau to get some red zone targets too. So and this is a guy who I think Foster Moreau as well is a guy who in his offseason you see him with I can say the tight end university out there with Travis Kelce and those guys. And Kerry Kittle, but I do think he's gonna have a big year. I do think he's. I think the Raiders. Listen, the offensive weapons are there. I can't even dispute that part of it. Um, uh, as, as far as that goes. But yeah, I do like I would make that move, but I don't think that move is imminent. I don't think that move is coming. I think that the Packers are 100% not trading Aaron Rodgers. He can enjoy his vacations in Hawaii all he wants. He's not getting traded.
No, and Devontae Adams is going to get franchise tag before they let him walk. So
No,
you're going to have to give up some first round picks to get him anyways.
yeah, which is not good. Which actually would be better than the actual picks the Raiders actually make, as far as that goes. You got some questions.
And before Raider fans get upset, like I'm not predicting a trade. I'm not saying Derek Carr is going to the Packers. I'm just playing devil's advocate because I didn't see anyone use that angle.
Yeah, I mean, it's feasible. I mean, that would be the thing his contract is doable. That division doesn't have great quarterback play. He'd still be one of the top quarterbacks in that division. I mean, the roster around him isn't terrible. So like, I mean, so that could happen as well. I mean, I just don't see the amount of draft capital you have to give up. I just I don't. I think they're gonna be all in with Carr until his contract is over. And then we'll see. We'll see where they are. If it's two straight playoff performances and they make the playoffs, then they'll do the new deal. I mean, he made it clear that he wants to be a Raider for a long time. I think at that point, then if they make the playoffs 2 years in a row, where maybe they lose in the first round and maybe get to an AFC Championship game, or deep into the playoffs, then you can justify making that move. If they don't make the playoffs next couple of years, then you can. I mean, that would be a long tenure for somebody to be here and to be at a team and not make the playoffs. And much as people might like Carr or dislike Carr, whatever, I think we'd all be in unison for a new quarterback if the next 2 years don't produce playoff performances. I think you'd have to be on that boat.
No, I think he's got to make the playoffs this year, at least get 10, 11 wins.
Yeah, 2 years in a row.
This team goes 6-11 or 7-9. I think that he won't be the quarterback next year. It's just a personal opinion.
Yeah, I think they'd have to do something as far as that goes. I was gonna say, any other Raider notes this week that you did you see?
No, it's all quiet on the news front out in Henderson, I guess we'll call it, before training camp opens up. We're 26 days from training camp opening up.
Yeah, exactly. We have some questions from some of our listeners, so we're gonna go hit those up now. From the 413 out there in Massachusetts, they want to know whether or not Julian Edelman is a Hall of Famer. The answer for me is a big fat no. Good player, like him a lot. The iconic catch in the Super Bowl. He's always been there for Brady and Belichick, but he is not a Hall of Fame player.
Yeah, it's a no. He's not a Hall of Famer.
He's just not.
I think Hines Ward is a better player than him, and Hines Ward's not a Hall of Famer. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. No way that happens. Let's see here. What else we got? We got better backfield. Jacobs obviously is a Raider fan. From 619, Jacobs and Drake or Chubb and Hunt. Better backfield. I gotta go Chubb and Hunt because they actually played together.
Chubb and Hunt. I mean, Jacobs and Drake have a chance to be good, but they're not in that category yet.
Yeah, not yet. I would agree on that one. Can you rank the quarterbacks in the AFC West from 559? Can you rank the quarterbacks from the AFC East, and then rank the quarterbacks from the NFC West? Okay, so I could start the AFC, NFC East. It's Josh and everybody else. As far as the AFC East goes, the Bills quarterback is above everybody. The next quarterback is, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. It has to be. It's just like you can put in any order. Yeah, Cam
Wilson, and then whoever. At this point, I would probably lean Mac Jones is probably going to play there. Let's assume it's Cam for this argument. Those next three are all a toss-up. I'd probably go Cam just because he's a veteran, and then probably Wilson, Tua in that order until Tua proves it.
Yeah. So,
but Josh Allen's by far the best quarterback in that division.
Yeah, and as long as he stays healthy, that division is not going to be. I mean, you can forget about it now. I mean, I love the fact that they have they got Emmanuel Sanders, they got Cole Beasley, and they got Diggs. They really, I mean, they're ready to go. I think they could probably use a little bit more in the running game to help them out. But that kid, I never. Whoever, I think it was, I don't know if it was one of the Palmer brothers who helped him out with his accuracy, one of the little QB camps, but
Jordan Palmer, yeah.
Jordan Palmer, but damn, if I got a QB prospect, I'm taking him to him because that accuracy improved dramatically. He was pinpoint a lot of years, especially on the deep ball. But yeah, that's the big one. Let me see, is NFC West? He said NFC West. Best quarterback in the NFC West, I would have to say is Wilson. Gotta be Wilson. Gotta be Stafford next. And then Stafford's 2. For 3,
Garoppolo.
I go Kyler Murray for 3.
That's how I would do it.
Yeah, I'll put Kyler Murray 3.
Garoppolo's 4.
I put Garoppolo 4 just to get the Niner hate mail. I love Niner hate mail. Since 2003, the Niners and Raiders have that in common. Like they have the least amount of playoff wins. But different from the Niners. Niners made the Super Bowl a couple of times in that time period. When they were good, they made the play. They made the Super Bowl. When they made the Super Bowl, as far as that goes. Let's see here. The deal. Here we go. Just from Bleacher Report, Devontae Adams working on a huge deal with the Packers. So, I'm sorry, it ain't happening. Raider fans. Let's see. Over under on Cowboy wins this year.
It's not happening.
Again, the internet's freezing a little bit on you. What'd you say? Little internet problems here as far as that goes. Over under on the.
I didn't hear that question.
Over under on the Cowboys win total.
What's the number?
Right now
I'm gonna say it's gonna be somewhere around 9.5.
9.5. Let's see. I think I have it at 8 from the website I have on as 8. Can the Cowboys win more than 8 games?
It's 8. I'll take the over.
They have to win more than 8 games.
I'll take the over. I think it's going to be 9. It's going to be 9 or 10.
My God, look at this roster, dude. How could they not win 9 games? How could they not win more than 9 games? That's crazy. Last one.
It's a 17-game season too, so
yeah, you got in that division. Come on, with that talent, it's ridiculous. As long as they keep that quarterback upright, there's no way. Last question. I think somebody pulled. I saw this on my Instagram feed. One guy has to go. They if you see some of those, they have 3 players and one guy has to go. So wide receivers, one guy has to go. You got Terrell Owens, Calvin Johnson, and Randy Moss. One guy has to go. You have to pick one guy to.
Who was the 4th one? I heard Owens.
It's 3 of them.
Who was the 4th again?
It's
3.
It's 3. Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss,
Randy John. Oh, okay.
and Terrell Owens.
Terrell Owens. I would say, as much as I love Calvin Johnson, I want to keep Moss and Owens. Just personal opinion.
I'd have to go, and this is going to be so hard to say because I can't have two troublemakers. I can't just have one. I can't have two. So I'm gonna have Randy sit and have Terrell. I can do with Terrell, almost like a yin and yang with Johnson and Owens. They kind of balance each other out, you know.
Those are 3 Hall of Famers. I don't think you're wrong any way you go.
Anyway you go. I still can't forget. You remember the almost the sea of hands catch that Calvin Johnson had against the Raiders when he had the linebacker on him. He had a linebacker.
How about when Rondo McClain's running down the middle in cover 2?
Oh my god!
And when they went 99 yards with like less than a minute to go. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh my god! The painful. I think I'm gonna watch that drive again. Because it's almost impossible to score. No, sometimes I do that. Sometimes you gotta watch the bad, because it hasn't been any good anytime soon anytime in the past for the Raiders. Yeah, it's crazy. Everybody tweet out happy Bobby Bonilla Day. It's pretty funny. That contract with the Mets. That is just the contract that keeps on giving. Kind of keeps on giving. Bobby Bonilla. You gotta love it. Are you excited about a Hawks Suns NBA final?
No, not really.
I don't think anybody.
Hopefully Trae Young's healthy and he can play. Let's get the best players on the court.
Yeah,
but
that's crazy.
No, I'm not that excited about it.
No, and you know the one I'll leave this out there for because we're wrapping up the show. For all those folks who say they hate, LeBron every year or hate, this guy going to finals all the time. I want you guys should make sure that you make this the highest rated NBA finals ever. Because I hear that a lot. Oh, I'm so sick of LeBron being I'm so sick of this guy being so sick of Steph Curry in the finals all the time. I was like, okay, you got your wish. Injuries are the reason why you probably got your wish, but you got your wish. So go out there and make this the highest rated NBA finals here. That's gonna be crazy. At least for Chris Paul, I do give him a little bit of credit because he didn't go chase the. He's been on a bunch of different teams, but he didn't go out there and chase the whole being on a mega team. I didn't really think that him going to Phoenix would help them go to the finals, but yeah, they're in the finals. Good for them.
A lot of things broke their way this year to get them to the finals, so they need to win it because I don't know if they're going back anytime soon.
Yes. Somebody tweeted out a picture of the Lakers winning it, and there was and above it says, people thought the bubble was the asterisk, and then they have they show a picture of Kawhi being hurt, a picture of Anthony Davis being hurt, a picture of all these guys getting hurt, and it's like this year is the true asterisk. It's gonna be funny. See what happens. All right, Ryan. I know you got things to do out there. Enjoy your time on the East Coast and do your thing. Raider Nation and NFL fans, thank you for joining in to the Put On Waivers NFL show. We'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you.